Hi, I'm Fire Chief Tom Shannon, and welcome to 2020 Year in Review. Well, it's really difficult to encapsulate what 2020 has really meant in terms of experience for the fire department and how we provide services to the citizens. But as I look back, it really was a true test, a real test of our overall response capabilities and ability to focus on the mission. Our mission is simply stated is we care for you, and never more than in 2020 did we experience different ways that could be challenged. Obviously, the pandemic put a public health focus into our EMS response that was always kind of there in the background, but really never focused on. We dodged bullets during bird flu and Zika and things like that, but not since really the AIDS epidemic in the 80s and 90s had such an important public health issue been on the really the forefront of our pre-hospital response systems. So our firefighters and healthcare providers partnered up to make sure that the citizens and visitors of Scottsdale got the most out of our pre-hospital capabilities through not only our normal rapid response and capabilities there, but also a very, very focused attention to aseptic technique and really trying to encapsulate patients into a kind of a single source so that if they were COVID positive, that we didn't see spread. Despite our best efforts, we did experience a large number of exposures this year, and I want to thank the city for their outstanding support and certainly the well wishes of the citizens as we managed through that. Another important part of this year was our relationship to our businesses and the impact that they were feeling and how we, from our fire prevention perspective, could support them in their ability to continue doing the business that they needed to do within this new pandemic context. And that had a whole lot to do with crowd sizing and social distancing and all the things that go into the whole business community operating in this pandemic environment. In 2020, emergency management became to the forefront. Another very important discipline that seems to always be operating in the background, but it had been brought forward because this is what we relied upon to make sure that we were organized as we approach the difficulties within the pandemic. Our emergency manager, Troy Lutrick, did an outstanding job of assembling all of the important stakeholders and divisions, whether they're inside the city or outside city stakeholders, so that we could be sure that we were getting a comprehensive look at our overall response to the pandemic. Emergency management comes into play in virtually every area of public safety response. The fire department maintains a large number of emergency support functions that are supported within the emergency management process. And so this year we were able to actualize that and actually work through those problems through the leadership of Troy Lutrick. You're going to hear from Assistant Fire Chief Ryan Freeberg and Assistant Fire Chief Eric Valliere, who will introduce their respective divisions. But keep in mind that our call volumes really never changed over the aggregate period of time. We just had this new focused attention on pandemic prevention and awareness.
Hello, I'm Ryan Freeberg, one of your assistant fire chiefs with the City of Scottsdale Fire Department, and I'm coming to you today from new Fire Station 616. My responsibilities as an assistant fire chief with the fire department is the professional services branch. Under that branch, we have the responsibility of the fire marshal, which ensures that our code enforcement and compliance is where it's supposed to be. We also have the prevention division, where our inspectors are in our buildings but during construction and in those buildings after construction, because we own them for the life of their building. always community risk reduction. I also have the responsibility of resource management. One of the most important parts of an organization is its supply chain. We are equipping the men and women who serve the fire department, who serve the community. We also have the responsibility of training our recruit and incumbent firefighters to ensure their skills are contemporary with the modern fire service. And finally, administrative services. Those processes, policies, and procedures that ensure we have an environment that is conducive to the success of our men and women in the Scottsdale Fire Department. Why am I standing in front of new Fire Station 616? Because of the amazing support we got from the citizens of Scottsdale when they approved Bond 2015. That bond allowed us to remodel Fire Station 605, relocate Fire Station 613, relocate Fire Station 603, and finally relocate Fire Station 616. These projects allowed us to get our fire stations in the best location to better serve our community, to help reduce our response times by getting us access to the infrastructure within the city of Scottsdale. Calendar year 2020 brought incredible challenges to the fire department, and thank you to the men and women of the Scottsdale Fire Department for your continued amazing service to our citizens, and thank you to the citizens of Scottsdale for your ongoing support of the fire department.
Hi, I'm Eric Valier. I'm an Assistant Fire Chief for the Scottsdale Fire Department. I manage the Emergency Services branch. That branch includes fire operations. Within fire operations is the hazardous materials team, technical rescue team, aircraft rescue firefighting, and deployment of our brush assets. It is important for that division to manage the daily staffing of those apparatus that deliver door-to-door service for our people in our community, the men and women on the streets that address all of your needs and deliver the We Care For You mission of the Scottsdale Fire Department. The second leg of the Emergency Services branch is EMS, Emergency Medical Services. That branch manages the training, continued training of our paramedics and EMTs. It evaluates quality control of our performance on those calls, and it manages the certification of those members. That's tied to state needs and to our medical director's oversight. The last leg of our Emergency Services branch is Wellness and Safety. Wellness and Safety engages with our membership, the firefighters out on the street, to make sure they're mentally and physically ready to do their job. They also evaluate the safety in which they perform their duties to make sure that they are in the best PPE and equipment to do their job as safely as possible. Hi, 2020 was a really exciting year for us, and we were challenged in many ways with COVID, the riots, the political sensitivity that we faced, and more importantly, specific to Scottsdale, was our brush fire season. We responded this year to 30% more brush fires than we have historically, and those fires were larger and greater alarm fires, not only in the city, but outside the city, responding with our auto aid partners. This year we built and solidified a stronger relationship tied to the brush asset deployment in the Valley with our auto aid partners and with our state and federal assets. We asked the prevention division to come in and help us to meet and make contact with our contractors out there, so they were providing a layer of safety when they were performing their duties when they're building and constructing within the urban interface. The last thing we did is we put together a really strong marketing plan that informed the community of what was happening and what was coming their way, and if something happened, what they should do. 613 is one of our main brush stations. It is one of our newer fire stations, and the truck behind me is called Brush 6130, is one of our newest assets, and it will be deployed this year, 2021. That was really at after action what we did of 2020 and where we wanted to place apparatus and what we want to do in the future to make things better as far as a response protocol. I want to end by saying thank you to all the Scottsdale firefighters, both the men and women at headquarters, out in the station, in the front line doing what they do, and their families that have always supported them. Thank you for what you do every day.
So in closing, I want to talk a little bit about one of the most important things we can do to make ourselves ready in 2021 and beyond. As we know, we've got a substantial attrition issue coming our way, and that means we need to keep the folks that are here as healthy as they can be and make sure that the folks coming in have a great foundation for a long and healthy career. So firefighter wellness and safety is absolutely essential. Through the leadership of Chief Valier and through Shauna Odell, we've got a number of programs that are really oriented towards hardening incumbent firefighters and preventing injury, making sure that the things that they do out there on the fire ground are scientifically based here in the gym in terms of functional movement and strengthening and hardening their bodies for the work that they're going to do. Even as important though is understanding the hazards that we experience out there and the exposures we might realize, and through the outstanding collaborative process that we have with our benefits folks at Human Resources and the leadership of the city manager, we will be doing enhanced screening for cancer-causing agents, as well as those things that might harm our folks metabolically. So a partnership between our wellness coordinator, Heart Fit for Duty, our health and benefits folks, Cigna, and the universities. We're going to make sure that our firefighters are healthier and safer than they ever have been before. So I look forward to a very bright and healthy 2021 for all of us, citizens, businesses, firefighters, everyone, and I hope you do too. So until next year, be safe and thank you for watching.